my stitchy friends, welcome back. You've found Lolody Stitches. My name is Laura and I'm so glad you're here with me today. It's an overcast but bright Friday afternoon, and it has been a very busy day as we build up to the activities coming up. We're traveling and then we have company, and oh my goodness, I feel like all of a sudden I have to do everything. Anyways, if you hear some noise in the background, it does look like they are taking a tree down across the street, which is always sad, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. And anyways, it's kind of noisy. But I did do a tester video to make sure that hopefully my voice came through more strongly than the grinding happening over there, and it seemed to be okay. So we're gonna go for it because this is the moment I've got today to do this. I kind of plotted out my video. I always do, kind of my outline before I start filming, and I did that this morning, so I should be ready to go. So let's just dive on in. It's been about 2 weeks since we met for cross stitch, and some projects I touched have gotten a lot of stitches and some have gotten just a little bit, and my scattered lack of focus continues. It's getting better most days, but yeah, I still have, sometimes I sit down and I work on something for an hour and I'm, well, that's enough of that, I'm over it, and I pick something else up, and I tried to at least give something an hour if I picked it up. So there would be something to show, something worth showing. Anyways, ooh, itchy nose. I've been moving boxes in the garage, and I'm sure that's contributing. So first project, I kind of stacked them in like roughly less stitches to more stitches stitched. So this one doesn't have a ton of progress, but I did work on it. Rose Fairy from Soda Stitch. I started this one last, I want to say July. Maybe it was earlier than that. I don't remember. I didn't write it down. This is one of my few projects, more recent projects, that I haven't apparently kept the information on, but here's a very dark picture of where I started. Kind of had her torso, shoulder, head up done, and her wings. No back stitching yet, but I am stitching her on an opalescent Aida. Oh, I've got my board. Here we go. So I worked on some of her dress and then started into the head of the bird. I actually had more birds stitched down through here, but it wound up being the wrong color, so I had to pull that out. And then I was mad at it, so I put it away. But that wound up being okay because I was stitching on this while we were watching Hacksaw Ridge, and if you haven't seen that, you should watch it because it was really good. I hadn't seen it before, and my husband, of course, was aghast, like, you haven't seen that? Anyways, so I wasn't paying terribly close attention to my stitching, and I thought that with it being on Aida I would be okay, but I did not foresee picking up the wrong color floss to stitch with. I mean, it was still blue, it made sense. Anyways, so a little bit on that. I should probably pull this out more because I would like to finish this for my niece to go in her room. It's just cute. So looks like something should be on her wall. I did orient this incorrectly on the fabric when I started it, so my margins will be fairly narrow on the in the width, which is unfortunate. But I was too far in by the time I realized to have any desire to pull it all out. So I know that there are people who would pull this much stitching out, and I commend you, because it's not going to be happening for me. Anyways, so I kept stitching, and I'll just either do a soft finish on it or I will put it in a hoop, and it'll look super cute, and it'll be perfect for a toddler's bedroom because she won't care one way or another. Okay. The next project, let me find my before. My next project, it was one of my attempts to actually stitch, well, that one, frankly, the fairy. So technically, I usually stitch, or have been recently stitching with a theme of the month. So I'll pull my projects I want to work on from my whips based upon my theme. And I've written my themes down in my, you probably can't read it, between the lettering behind it and my cursive. But I've given each month this year a theme, and this month is supposed to be Magical March. And I guess I didn't show you my planner. I'll show you my planner. So this is a planner. I'm not going to go into it. I have not given March any stickers yet. It will happen. But I did decorate my tracking pages this week, which was really fun. I hadn't used stickers in weeks, and so it wasn't elaborate, but they're beautiful stickers. So that was fun, tracking my stitching. And anyway, so Magical March. Told you my brain is I'll get into it. It'll settle. Let me turn the brightness up here because I want you to be able to see it. So this is called the Fantasy Sal by Lakeside Needlecraft. This is how far I am. I suppose I should show you the way it's supposed to look in the end. The designer is Doreen Jones, and her artwork is just charming. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. What have I done? I don't know how to work my own thing, my own tablet. Anyways, I started this. When did I start this? It doesn't say. I believe, though, it was in the early days of my getting back into cross stitch. I want to say 2016. Here we go. Here's the formal picture. Fantasy Sal. And yeah, this was one of the first 5 projects I picked back up after I started back into cross stitch. I learned when I was young and then took a hiatus from it. I got super deep into quilting, and anyways, then I discovered the ability to buy patterns online and online shopping, and the rest is history. I was hooked. Anyways, so I worked a little bit on the Phoenix. I added in the reds and these outer yellows. So it's starting to look more like a Phoenix. I guess I did some of this corner too. I had only done like this much top just to see what my margin would be, and it definitely confirmed that this will be a soft finish. Which is fine. Frankly, I like my calendar sets in soft finishes, so. And I always get requests when people, when I mention soft finishes for a tutorial. Yes, I will do one, but I need a project that I plan to soft finish first. So as soon as I get one, I will film the process and share that with you, because it's not hard. Everybody can do it if you have a sewing machine and a project. So anyway, so this is fun. It's always fun to pick it back up. I wish I'd gotten more done on it. It was one of those days where I could not settle in my cross stitching. So I didn't. And that's okay. That's why I have a multitude of whips, so that I can bounce from things to things and stitch what makes my heart happy. So, next one I picked up, roughly, this was not, the next quantity of stitches, I don't know how to say it, is Bella Filipina, the Mad Tea Party. And I started this right after Christmas last year, and I love it. It was going to be a New Year start, and then I couldn't even wait a week I wanted to start it. And this is where it was the last time you saw it, which was 2 weeks ago. So her torso is done, but she needs a head. I did not work on her head though. I continued to work down in her skirt area, and then I started adding, so I added this navy blue, and then I worked on the mushrooms, and these are the beginnings of the roses. There's some more, I think there's some more roses down in here. But I figured as far as like plan of attack goes, I will finish her skirt area, make the arch, and then kind of finish with her head. I don't know why. There's no rhyme or reason to it, but that's the plan, Stan. So here we go. I'm stitching this on 14 count Aida, Fabrics by Stephanie. The color is Busy Izzy, and it's lovely. It's such a beautiful color. It's wild, but it's perfect for this project. I mean, wild. It's not like fiery orange or anything like that, but yeah, I love it. Oh, well, there we go. It seems like once a video, we get a bit of an emoji edition. I swear, you guys, I have turned them off, but the world doesn't believe me. Okay, so now we're starting to get into the ones that got a bit more attention. I'm just flying through this. So, next one, Moggy Manor by the Blue Flower. I started this, I have a date, on the 23rd of February. And I'm stitching, my mom is stitching Huckleberry Farm by the Blue Flower, and I didn't have the supplies to start that when she was going to start hers, but I had this one. So we're stitching, it's like a Blue Flower Sal, just the two of us. Now, not that anybody's welcome to join. Of course, it's not formal. It's just we're stitching it together, and it's been really fun. She is kicking my trash on hers, but I made progress. So where's my before picture? Here we go. So my before picture is this. I had started the border and the tree, which didn't show up very well. It's very blendy. It's one of those things though where it shows up a lot better in person. It is subtle, but it does show really nicely in person. So I've never been tempted to switch out the colors or anything. And I knew that once you started adding other features, that tree would show more. Ooh, we're starting to we're starting to get little bird friends, and I love them. This was the first one I added in, and then my woodpecker, which before he had his little red cap, my friend said, "Is that a penguin?" And his shape is reminiscent of a penguin, if you take that away. But I said, no, penguins don't climb trees. It's a woodpecker. Anyways, it's delightful. And this is being stitched on an Aida as well, but it's a Bestitch Me Aida, 14 count, called Mocha. And it's just deliciously lovely. It is so beautiful. Oof, I love working with it. It's a very soft Aida. It feels a lot like a linen in hand. I love this one. This one may be my airplane project. Maybe. I've got a long flight this weekend, so excuse me. So yeah, I've been trying to figure out what projects will be good for traveling. I don't know how much time I'll get while we're in Florida, but I know that at least on the travel days, I will have hours available for stitching if I choose. And the cool thing is, I've got that neck light, so even if I'm not by window, which I sure hope I am, I don't remember. We didn't assign our seats on this flight, and I get pretty claustrophobic in an airplane, and so I always try to sit in a window seat just because something about being able to see the outside makes me feel better. Don't ask me why. Anyways, but usually if you're by the window, you get pretty decent light if you're flying during the day. And anyways, but I've got my neck light, so no matter where I wind up sitting, you know, I'll put my headphones on and go into a trance. If I'm in the middle, try to calm myself. No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm a big girl. I can handle it. Next one, Adventure Sampler by Sambrie Stitches Designs. I love this one. I am doing a full color conversion on this one. So I'm stitching it on, oh fiddle. I'm stitching it on, let's see if I can find the information for you. I thought I had it paper clipped, but apparently not. Okay, here we go. 28 count Picture This Plus linen in the color Fresco. And I didn't write the day I started it. But I know it was last year. I want to say it would have been August-ish that I started this. And as I said, I'm doing a full color conversion. I wanted my colors a bit more me. So let it be written. I am actually, this is one of my favorite things to stitch on right now. So I finished, I guess I didn't show you the before, but I finished the bee skip and I stitched a little bear, and then I've done the mountains. And this little path will come around to a cabin that will sit down in this corner. That's where I'll go next. And then I'll probably work on the trees here and come up and finish with Sasquatch. Save the best for last. Yeah, I love this one. I love the stormy cloud. I did some funky, both with the clouds and the mountains. I'm using overdyed cottons for them from Stash, and I didn't stitch linearly. I stitched kind of randomly to give them more movement, make them look a little bit more natural, and I'm really pleased with how they turned out. So good. That one might go on the trip too. I don't know, because I'm really enjoying that one. Ooh, you're gonna like the next one. Okay, so this next one I've been working on since once upon a time. Since a mystery time. I want to say I'm stitching this one as a casual Sal with Julie from Julian Stitches, and I want to say we started this in February, March, around this time of year last year. So it's in the library by Mojo Stitches. Spectacular, spectacular. It is so fabulous. I love everything about this chart. It's so good, so good. I'm stitching it on Lakeside Linen Vintage Pearl Barley. It's a 28 count, and I'm stitching it with the Cottage Garden sampling threads. Is that right? Cottage Garden? Why does that sound like a designer and not floss? We'll just confirm this. These little dudes, Cottage Garden Threads. I was thinking of a designer. Cottage Garden Threads. And they come from Australia, a little mother-daughter business, and they are fantastic. They get great coverage, beautiful colors. I just love stitching with them. And oh, I didn't show you the before. Oh well. I'll just tell you what I did. So I had completed the first two shelves and everything up here. I didn't work on anything else on the top. I still have a little bit, yes, I think I have a little bit of green fill-in to do on this section here before the whole front top half is complete. So I did the shelf, the beginnings of the books, and I brought this border. I completed the border as far as the bones goes. So, oh my goodness, the globe might be my favorite part. I thought that the lamp was my favorite part, and then I really enjoyed doing the Kit Kat, but the globe is kind of magical. It's kind of magical. That's 2 colors of floss. It's so good. Oh, I love this design. I'm getting so close. I mean, seriously, so close. There's still quite a bit of work to do. The ivy takes a lot of focus, which is probably why this didn't get as much work. Well, as much. This one got a few days of attention, but I didn't even try to start doing the ivy because it does take a good brain day to be successful. But it is so close. Maybe this one will come on my trip with me. I don't know. Can I focus enough to stitch this on an airplane? Maybe it will wait. I don't know. But I'm getting very excited about that one's finished. I just have this vision of a cozy, lovely chair with a quilt draped over it that's ready for me, and a tiny little round side table for me to put my coffee or teacup on, and books and my cross stitch on the wall. Like, that is... Wouldn't that be nice? I'm starting to dream. Okay. Let's see. Okay, next one. I'm also enjoying this one very much. I didn't get as much work as I would have thought on this one. The Pink Sparrow sampler, which I am doing a 75% conversion on. This is the year of color conversions. I declare it so. This is where it was when you saw it a couple of weeks ago. So the bones are in on this one, and it's just really all the fun bits now. Though, frankly, one of the reasons I'm enjoying samplers right now is because the bones, like the borders, are so satisfying. There's something, okay, when they don't match, they're a pain in the you-know-what. But when they work, they're very satisfying to stitch. There's something meditative about it for me. I don't know. I really like it. Anyways, there you go. This is where I am. So I started adding in where the stars will be, the heart. I added this flower, and then the corally bits, which I wanted to get in to make sure that they weren't going to be too bright, and I think it's going to be really fun. It'll be good. It felt really good when I pulled the flosses originally, and then when I started to lay it out, I was like, ooh, that's a very strong color, but it's going to be great. I'm very happy with it. This is a 28 count Lugana from Bestitch Me called Lightly Roasted, Not Salted. And if I can get some contrast, there you go. You can see it's just this soft, peachy loveliness. It's so good. I really love it. And because it is so fresh and springy, and that's just kind of the vision I have with this, you can kind of see I'm going just a touch brighter, not quite as faded away looking, but in keeping with the original colors. And I really, really, really love it. And we've got strings. It's fine. Strings happen. Okay. Maybe that one should have been a little higher up in the stack. There wasn't as much as I thought. Okay, this one got quite a bit of progress. This is the greenhouse from Cottage Garden Samplings. You know, that one that was stuck in my brain. The greenhouse from the Fabulous House series. That's this year's releases. and I'm stitching them separately and on different fabrics. I'm going to keep them all on a 28 count because that's what I started the first one on. So, and I want them to be the same size so that I can hang them or place them in the same place and just rotate through them once they're all finished. So this is where I started. Whoops. Hey, go away. There we go. This is another one of those very subtle contrasts that show better in person. But, ooh, it's so pretty. I heard somebody say on Facebook that they didn't like this one as much, but I think it's really beautiful. I know it's very different from the first two because the first two were very like, wham, bam, here's a house. Like it's this big, dense stitching, and this one's more airy and lacy, and so it's very different in that way. I could see that, but I thought it was really, really pretty. It was very exciting to start getting some of the flowers in. And I made a lot of progress. So I finished the frame of the actual greenhouse, started some of these outer swirls, and then I wanted some color just to prove that it's all going to come together. And I love it. This is on a Bestitch Me 28 count Lugana as well. This one's called Luna Moth. And it was one of the monthly, I get a monthly fat quarter from them, which I had never done before last year. And I really love getting happy fabric in the mail once a month. Okay. I only have 2 more. We're flying through this. I wonder if I'm talking faster or because I know I have a lot of things to do. I'm not trying to rush it, I promise. There is no before. What am I doing? So this one I had last month was, excuse my cover tiny ears. It was a month from hell last month. Honestly, it was it was challenging. And I'm grateful to say that we're starting to come out, hopefully, of that period. But I had someone who I met through the Flosstube and Instagram a year and a half ago or so. She reached out to me and we kind of chatted and then we kind of just touched bases here and there. And anyways, she reached out to me again and said, I'm really sorry to hear about everything that's going on, and could I send you something so that there's something to look forward to? And I said, well, you don't have to, but yes, that would be lovely. Thank you. And bless her, she knows me better than I would have expected. So she sent me this pattern, Love Birds by Nora Corbett, and all of the floss and beads that I need for it. So all I had to do was go digging through my fabric and find the right one. And isn't it beautiful? I had never seen this, or if I had seen it, I had forgotten that I had seen it because I don't remember it. I mean, it looks like it was copyright last year, so it could have just slipped between the cracks for me in her releases, but I think it's absolutely stunning. It's so, so beautiful. And so I dug in my stash and tossed some floss on there and settled with Glory by Picture This Plus. It's a 32 count. Yeah. And I started it. And it looks kind of like a Rorschach painting. It's starting to come out of that phase now that I've added this third color in there. There's actually 2 colors, a brown and a plum. So those are the tails and backs of our sweet birds. And then we get into all the fun colors, which are somewhere in a bag down below me. But they're gorgeous. I mean, you can see on the pattern, we've got this gorgeous teal in there, aqua and green and purple and yellow and gold, and The bumblebee above the flower, what a cute detail. Like, oh, I love it. I'm very excited. It will look more exciting soon. Yeah, so that was very, very lovely. Thank you, Sarah. Truly. It's been fun to get started. I worked on it last night. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Last but not least is my Leap Day start. It was so fun. Also, I don't know if you followed in Instagram, you can go into the search and look up hashtags. So I looked up the Leap Day style, and there's a couple different iterations, like Leap Day 2024 or Leap Day Start or Leap Day Sal or Leap Year Sal. Like, I didn't know which one to use, so I think I used several. But it was fun finding that there are multiple ways to do it, because I got to see a lot of people's starts, and there's everything from HAID full coverages to samplers and everything in between. I mean, it was really fun. Long dogs, and it was really fun to see people kind of embracing this extra day, if you will, and starting something epic. And yeah, it was fun to be a part of that as well. So I am stitching the Anniversaries of the Heart by Blackbird Designs. I have a concept picture here, somebody else's work, and I'm doing this layout, and I will do, there are 14, I think is what I figured out. So I'll do 4 squares for the first 2 years, and then 3 the last 2 years. I think that's the math. Don't worry, it'll all come together. Even if that is not, even if my brain's not braining right now. I think that's what I'd figured. And I've started doing some of my research and trying to assign blocks to people, but I'm just gonna do it kind of as they come. So I'll definitely share them as we get to them. The first one's easy because that one's in the center. That's why I started, and it's just going to be my husband and I, our anniversary. So this is Swan Lake, and technically it's pattern number 7 from the series, right in the middle. And I got, let's scoot my floss over. I'm stitching it on a 36 count. What was my color? Is it sand? Yes, Picture This plus Sand, which is one of my favorite neutrals from them. And it just wound up being good. I had a 28 count, and I don't know if you saw my last episode, you know there was some debate on whether or not to go big or small. And I went with small because it's just a much more realistic. Not that the stitching wouldn't have been gorgeous, and it would have been very fun to stitch it that way. But I didn't want poster size. I want like nice feature moment size. Anyway, so here's where I am. I switched the blue. I'm stitching some of the called for. Some of them will be, you know, adjusted to fit me and my family and our vibe. And the blue they had was really more of a gray. It was dolphin. And so it's very... and it felt very gray. It didn't feel as blue. And in the picture, you know, the outline looks pretty blue. I mean, I guess it's kind of gray blue. It's definitely not as blue as what I chose. It looks bluer in person. Take my word for it. Anyways, I wanted more blue, and I've picked, this will be the front of the house, kind of this buttery cream, and then the back wall and the roof, which are supposed to be the same color, will be Lexington green from Gentle Art. So that looked nice, still subtle. Oh, excuse me. This is why I always come with a libation. And then I decided to make the door. The door is also, it's charted to be whatever you use for this. I want my door to be brown. I thought this was the prettiest little, it's called Cider Mill Brown. Pretty variegation in it. So that'll be just the door, which will be nice. And once I get those done, then we'll move down into the swans, which will be white, naturally. And then I'm still figuring out what the little swirly dooboppers on the bottom will be. I'm thinking of going with this beautiful blue because I like the continuation of the kind of richer blues. And then the little snowflakes will be this soft blue. Very frosty, very pretty, very appropriate. We were married in January, so a frosty block makes sense. Though I will say that day in particular was as gloriously sunny and dry as you could ask for. I mean, the flowers were practically blooming, so it was a good omen. He's a good pick. Okay, so yeah, it's a good start. I'm enjoying this. I think when I was doing my math on like when I need this block done was sometime in May to like stay on track. So I'm feeling good about my start, and yeah, we'll keep plugging away. I have debated between stitching it on Sundays and stitching it, like giving it just an hour a day as like a focus piece kind of thing until goal met. So we'll see how this first quarter goes and how, we'll just see. we'll see where it settles, where the dust settles. Okay, so that's all the stitching I did. Like I said, I was stitching, but it wasn't like tons, but it also has only been 2 weeks. So it's been longer stints between my videos before this. So I guess that's probably why I'm feeling like there should have been more, because I'm not like connecting the dots in my brain that there was a lot more time happening between the videos. So of course, this is the first time in actually like 3 months I haven't had a finish of any kind. Maybe that's what I'm feeling. I don't know. But I'm close on a few. So I have a little tiny bit of haul. One of them is just my monthly subscription from Bestitch Me. This one's wild. Oh, it shows so soft in the camera. Is that gonna help it? Okay. Well, picture that, but then like neon. It's very bright. I wish it was like it's showing in the camera. I mean, it's beautiful, but it's one of the few that I've gotten from them where I'm kind of wondering how I'll use it. It's very bright. And I like bright colors, but like it's a little bright for me. So I don't know. It's lovely though. I mean, Bestitch Me, you just can't go wrong. It's gorgeous. And just watch me eat my words when the right project turns up and I'm like, oh, I know exactly what I'm stitching on this. Maybe a Halloween piece would be cute. Or something super summery, like a flamingo or something wild. So it's just totally out there and fun. So that's very fun. She is just switched up her program, if you will. She's going to automatic payments, and so you can sign up through her website and adjust your subscription through her website, which will be really nice. She's always been super great about if you reach out. She's very friendly and great customer service, and has been very willing to work with any tweaks you want to make to it. But it will also be nice to just be able to go in and kind of self-manage the subscriptions. So when I went in to make that switch, I am actually switching mine up. So I've been getting a 28 count Lugana, and I have a healthy little collection of 28 counts now, and I realized that my 32 counts is pretty small, so I switched it to a 32 count linen for the rest of the year. So we'll see how that goes. That'll be fun. And I'm also not going to do the colors anymore. I was doing half color, half neutrals. I'm just going to do neutrals. So yeah, that'll be fun. It'll be something different. So they'll look a little bit different as I show them to you, which will be fun. Okay, my next little haul is this cute little pattern, which was totally impulsive, but it's so cute. Mouse's Strawberry Jam by Tiny Modernist. And I mean, isn't she just darling? And something about the gingham on top of the jam jar. I love it. And strawberries. I mean, I'm a sucker for strawberries, especially in the summer. I'm going to have a whole collection of strawberry projects. Okay, the next one, I'm just starting the collection on these. I saw this set, the Early Americans. It's a 9 grid of little, most of them are little houses with people like Abigail Adams and etc. etc. I don't remember all of them. Benjamin Franklin, I think, is one of them. But I thought that would be fun, something historical, and it would be really fun to kind of do a little bit. I mean, this one's just says it, the Freedom Block represents the struggle for independence from Great Britain during the mid 1700s. So I mean, it's pretty generic, that one, but some of them, most of them, feature like a person from early American history, and so it would be fun to kind of do a little bit of like research into them as I'm stitching them. I don't know, it's just the nerd in me, I guess. I think that would be fun. I blame Anniversaries of the Heart for getting me into that like mindset. But so I just bought the first one, and I mean, I don't have any fabric. There are 8 more patterns. I'll just kind of start collecting them, and we'll see when the start happens. Maybe this year, maybe next year, who knows? And the last one was what I just had to have. Joan Elliott, The Enchanted Garden. Oh my glob. It's so sweet. The little fairies and the like lucky clovers. Oh my goodness. And my yard was very well manicured growing up. And it was full of clovers. And so I know exactly what these little spiky but pretty purple flowers that grow up before. They're so pretty. I love it. I love everything about this. It's just a little bit of magic. So I already have some fabric, and I pulled the floss and did a floss toss. I actually had several others, and I had considered going with a color in the background. That's not printed, by the way. Those are stitches, the little clovers in the background. So it looks almost like wallpaper behind them, but it's just the magical forest, and you stitch it in. So anyways, I wound up with a warm neutral, I think it's Heritage, Heartland, Picture This plus Heartland, which I had in my stash, and I think it makes all the colors stay really fresh and lovely. And anyways, I don't know when I'll start this. I was originally thinking, oh, this would be a really pretty like first day of spring, which I think is the 20th of this month, but I don't know. We'll just see what happens. I might start it this month. I haven't started some of the others that I had planned on starting. They're just like languishing in kit box. And so we'll see. We will see. I had Teresa Wentzler unicorn. It's still in the living room, like asking to be started. But I just know from what I've heard about Teresa Wentzler's. I've never stitched Teresa Wentzler yet. I love her designs though. And so I have a few of them, and the unicorn was one of my unicorn charts. And anyways, I really want to start that, but I've heard they're not, I mean, it's a more advanced project. So I know that I need to have like the right brain, the right environment, both outward and inward, to start something like that. So I've kind of been putting it off and thinking this might wait till like the last week of the month when like all the company's gone and things can settle down a bit, hopefully. Yeah, anyways, we'll see how it goes. When the right mood happens, it will start. Anyway, so I haven't started some of the ones I thought I would, but I've enjoyed what I've worked on, so that's all that matters. So my plans are, oh, I also just got emails that my market purchases are on the way, and they are going to come while I'm not here, which is, it feels a little bit like torture. My sister's coming to watch Gracie though, and who's my little sweetheart down there. And so I said, okay, I'm going to give you my mail key so that you can bring my packages in, because there should be like, I think 3 overall. I think I did it 3 shops. Lindy Stitches, Top Knot Stitcher. Oh, maybe it's just a 2. Anyways, but so she has to bring them in so they're safe. And I'm very excited to come home and open them. It's so funny because I know exactly what they are, but that doesn't make it any less exciting to have it in my hot little hands. So those will be coming, and I'll be really happy to share those with you. Oh, and I wanted to say, I blame my state of mind on how I read this. So I had showed this is my purchases, and the Scenic Sampler by Heartstring Sampler, which is gorgeous. And there's a phrase at the top that says, "Dear old world, you are very lovely, and I am glad to be alive in you." But I swear by Grapthar's hammer, every time I read that, up until 4 days ago, I read, "Dear old world, you are very lonely, and I am glad to be alive in you." And that's why I was kind of like, it's kind of a sad one. And like, it's not a sad one. My heart was sad, and I made up words. So it's actually very lovely. And somebody commented that it's actually a quote from Anne of Green Gables, which I love. I haven't read those since I was a little girl, and I'm feeling like it's time to do that again. Let's revisit that when I start these. Anyways, I just wanted to mention that the phrase is lovely up there, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited for that chart. I was excited even when I thought it was kind of a sad, strange little phrase. But now that I know that it's a lovely phrase instead of a lonely phrase, it's amazing what our brains can do. Yeah, anyways. So I'm excited to see those. So my plans. Traveling. So I'm only going to take 2 or 3 projects. I don't know that I'll have, like I said, I don't know that I'll have a lot of time. During the day, I may get some evening time. I just don't know. We're not staying in a hotel. We're staying in my father-in-law's house. I just don't know what their expectations will be for the evenings, which is when I typically stitch. And so, but I know that I'll at least get to stitch while traveling, which are 2 full days. I mean, they're like 6-hour flights. So I'm going to bring something. I mean, you can't travel without cross stitch. Have cross stitch, will travel, right? So I'll take a couple projects with me, 2 or 3, and we'll see what happens. And then the week late after that, my sister is in town with her family, and which will be so much fun. And I'm sure we'll get stitching done then. We'll make up for lost time. if we're not playing with Saoirse the whole time, my little niece, she has 4 little teeth along the bottom and like 2 on the, oh my gosh, she is so cute. I mean, she's, I think 14 months old now, and she's just a giggly little, she has so much personality. What a doll. I'm so excited to have her here and to get some good time with her. It'll be great. Yeah, so lots of stuff going on. It's going to be fun. I'm so excited to kind of like be on the hunt for Florida Remembrance Project. I did already Google to see if there are quilt shops. It looks like, not quilt shops, excuse me, cross stitch shops. It looks like there are a lot of needlepoint shops down there, which is interesting. I've not done, well, I suppose I've done some version of needlepoint, but anyways, brain ramblings. I will be looking for some kind of cross stitch project to bring home with me, hopefully. We'll see what I can find. And yeah, so I hope you're well. I hope March is not coming in like a lion and that it's actually treating you well. We have cherry blossoms here. And I actually saw a daffodil today while I was out running errands. And I'm like, oh my gosh, spring is coming. Thank God. I am so ready for brighter days and, oh, you know, spring. Spring. And I know it comes in waves, certainly, especially through March. It's like you'll have a couple gorgeous days and then a week of rain and dark, which is what's happening today. Yesterday was gorgeous, cold, but gorgeous. And today is overcast, but dry. And then it's supposed to rain for 7 days, like 5 or 7 days. It's just, yeah, that's just spring, right? So, yeah, okay. I don't really have anything else. I'm just rambling. I am grateful for all of you. I appreciate you. I hope you're well. I hope you're stitching things that inspire you and make you happy. And take care of yourselves, my friends. Life is good. Thanks for watching. Bye.